Hello and welcome, I'm Frizzy, and this video is the first part in a series that will be focusing on the various mechanics, weapons, and characters in Blade Symphony. Today, we're going to be discussing the Longsword. Favorite of new players and veterans alike, the Longsword is a versatile weapon that balances both offensive and defensive capabilities. While the damage that the Longsword deals is reduced at first glance, this is offset by its high multi-hit rate, allowing it to do a surprising amount of damage with well-aimed and well-timed attacks. However, damage is not the main appeal of the Longsword. The most important aspect is good usage of its defensive tech, block. Block comes out after a short delay, and while active you will not be able to move or change the direction that you're facing. While your character is holding their sword up, all attacks from within 90 degrees of their front will be reduced to 2. This is called chip damage. After a small delay, ending at the last chip, you will slide back a distance depending on the amount of force stored up from all attacks. Good use of block allows you to shrug off large hits, and can be used to wait for openings in an opponent's combo where you can punish them. This defensive tech, as is the case with all others, works against both Tier 1 and Tier 2 attacks. Block, however, is far from invincible. There are 4 major ways around it. 1. A Tier 3 attack. 2. A grab. 3. A well-placed air. Let's show that again in slow motion. You can see the attack just going behind the block. And 4. Simply going around it. As mentioned earlier, the Longsword has a high multi-hit rate. Here, we can see an air-cancelled Phalanx Fast 2 Tier 2 hitting 3 times with the Longsword, but only twice with the Katana. The Longsword truly shines with intelligent usage of block, awareness of spacing, and good timing. I'm not the best or even a good Longsword user. Nonetheless, let's see it in action, with a bit of commentary. Here's a freeze frame showing the advantages of the Longsword's multi-hits. The damage is respectable for a single attack, but the hit stun from the extra multi-hits gave me time to follow up. After making an aggressive move, and noticing my vulnerability, I realize that Crisis is moving to counterattack. I quickly block to mitigate the damage from his response. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that my character is already moving to block. Nothing else of note occurs in the rest of this clip, so let's move to another one. As Crisis attempts to block any follow-ups, he does so at the wrong angle, allowing this forward heavy to connect. While difficult to see at this angle, he is trying to initiate a block in response to being caught in a bad position. However, expecting either a side or a block, I was already in the air for this next attack. From here on, again, nothing of note really happens, so move on to our third and final clip. Here, I make a significant mistake. I have the upper hand, but get greedy with my advantage and overextend. It's quickly punished by a block and a grab. So I really hope that this has been enlightening or helpful for anybody who's hoping to get into the game, picking up the Longsword. It's very much a beginner weapon, definitely. But there's far more to it, obviously, than just spamming buttons. As we saw in these videos, just hitting block doesn't make you invincible. There's certainly have to aim it, you have to time it, space it correctly. And obviously, bad plays into blocks are punished quite heavily. But at the same time, bad use of block is also punished. I also want to give a shout out to Crisis. He is the guy who saw me wailing on for most of this video. Without him, this would have been just infinitely more difficult. I will point out, of what you've seen, those little matches I had against Crisis, there were actually 3 whole matches that we had, or 3 whole games, sorry. He beat me in 2 of them, so I made myself look pretty good there. He did beat me up. So if you liked what you saw, and you'd like to see me continue, do other weapons, or even do some of the characters, if you could just show some interest, or point out what you'd like to see next, I'm more than happy to do it. This has actually been quite a bit of fun.